Earthquakes, Mother Nature's surprise party with no RSVP. So, have you ever felt the ground suddenly start to shake, rattle, and roll? It's a powerful, humbling, and honestly a little scary experience. But what's really going on down there? It's not some giant bowling a strike deep inside the earth, though that's a fun image. Instead, it's all about geology, physics, and the incredible forces that are constantly reshaping our planet. The science behind these rumbles is absolutely fascinating, and understanding it helps us prepare, innovate, and appreciate the dynamic world we live on. Welcome, explorers! We're uncovering 50 astounding earthquake facts that'll shake your world. We're going to dig into the science of seismic waves, tectonic plates, and the mind-boggling energy that can move mountains. We'll travel from the deepest point of an earthquake's origin to the very top of our tallest, most earthquake-resistant skyscrapers. We'll explore the past, present, and future of how we study these terrestrial tremors. Get ready to have your foundations rocked in the best possible way. Astounding earthquake facts, from invisible waves to tsunami-generating faults. First things first. An earthquake is simply the shaking of the Earth's surface. It's caused by a sudden, powerful release of energy from the lithosphere. That's the planet's rigid outer layer. That released energy doesn't just stay put. It travels in the form of seismic waves, which are invisible vibrations that race through the Earth, carrying incredible force and power with them. The focus, or hypocenter, is the exact spot underground where the rock first breaks and the earthquake begins. The epicenter is the point on the surface directly above the focus. To measure an earthquake's raw power, we use scales like the Richter scale or the more modern moment magnitude scale. They tell us how much energy was unleashed at the source. Magnitude is energy, but intensity is about the experience. The modified Mercalli intensity scale measures how the earthquake and the observable damage it caused in a specific location. So what causes this energy release? Most earthquakes are the result of tectonic plates, those massive continent-sized slabs of rock that make up Earth's crust, moving around and bumping into each other. These seismic showdowns usually happen at plate boundaries. This is where plates collide, pull apart, or, scrape past one another, creating immense stress that eventually has to give way. In subduction zones, one tectonic plate is forced to slide beneath another. This process can build up enormous pressure, leading to some of the most powerful megathrust earthquakes on the planet. At transform faults, like California's famous San Andreas Fault, plates slide horizontally past each other. The friction causes them to lock up until the stress becomes too great, triggering tremors. Not all quakes play by the rules. Intraplate earthquakes occur far from plate boundaries, right in the middle of a plate. They're much rarer. And honestly, their causes are still being studied. The show isn't always over after the main event. Aftershocks are smaller earthquakes that occur in the same area as the main shock, as the crust adjusts to the new stress distribution. Sometimes, a major earthquake is actually preceded by foreshocks. These are smaller tremors that can happen days or even years before the larger quake, but they're not a reliable predictor. Scientists use a tool called a seismograph to detect and record the ground's motion. Modern ones are incredibly sensitive and can pick up vibrations that are far too faint for humans to feel. The recording produced by a seismograph is called a seismogram. This wavy-lined data is what scientists analyze to determine an earthquake's location, magnitude, and, other important characteristics. The most powerful earthquake ever recorded struck Valdivia, Chile in 1960. It registered a colossal magnitude of 9.5, releasing an almost unimaginable amount of energy and causing a global tsunami. The most seismically active place on Earth is the Ring of Fire, which is a massive horseshoe-shaped zone that rims the Pacific Ocean. About 90% of all earthquakes actually occur along this path. The San Andreas Fault in California is, well, a textbook example of a transform fault. It marks the boundary where the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate grind past each other. Sometimes a region experiences a sequence of many earthquakes, and none of them can really be identified as the main shock. These clusters, called earthquake swarms, can last for days, weeks, or even months. During a powerful quake, liquefaction can occur. This is a pretty frightening phenomenon where water-saturated soil loses its strength and behaves just like a liquid, causing buildings to tilt, sink, or even collapse. When a major earthquake happens under the ocean, it can displace a massive volume of water. This creates a series of powerful waves called a tsunami that can travel clear across oceans. Despite all our technology, we still cannot precisely predict when and where an earthquake will strike. Scientists can identify high-risk areas, but the exact timing remains a mystery of geology. While we can't predict them, we can get a heads up. Early warning systems detect the first, faster seismic waves. Those are called P waves, and send out an alert before the slower, more destructive waves arrive. Basically, a signal is sent from a sensor to a city, giving people a few seconds of warning before the shaking starts. To minimize destruction, earthquake-prone regions enforce strict building codes. These engineering rules ensure that new structures are designed to sway and flex with the ground's motion rather than break. Practice makes prepared. Regular earthquake drills like the drop cover and hold-on technique are crucial for teaching communities how to react safely and quickly when the shaking starts. Geologists create seismic hazard maps that show which areas are most at risk for future earthquakes. These maps are vital tools for city planners, engineers, and emergency services. Developed by Charles F. Richter in 1935, the Richter scale is logarithmic. This means a magnitude 7 quake is 10 times more powerful than a 6 and 100 times more than a 5. Today, scientists prefer the moment magnitude scale. It's more accurate for large quakes because it calculates the total energy released based on the fault's size and how much it slipped. Primary waves, or P waves, are actually the fastest seismic waves. They're compressional waves, which means they push and pull the ground in the direction they are traveling, kind of like a sound wave does. Secondary waves, or S waves, arrive next. They're a bit slower, but honestly, more destructive. These waves shake the ground up and down or side to side, perpendicular to the direction the wave is traveling. The slowest but, most damaging waves are the surface waves, which are confined to the Earth's crust. They move the ground in a rolling or side-to-side motion and cause most of the visible damage. A seismic gap is a section of an active fault that has not experienced a significant earthquake for a long time compared to other segments. It's often considered, overdue for a quake. Not all quakes are natural. Induced seismicity refers to minor earthquakes and tremors that are triggered by human activities like mining, dam building, or wastewater injection from fracking. One of geology's great mysteries. Earthquake lights are unusual luminous phenomena, like flashes or glows in the sky, reported before or during some earthquakes. Their cause is still debated by scientists. The great 1906 San Francisco earthquake is infamous not just for the shaking, but for the devastating fires that followed. Broken gas lines fueled blazes that destroyed most of the city. In the central United States, the New Madrid seismic zone produced a series of massive quakes in 1811 and 1812. They were so powerful, they reportedly rang church bells in Boston, 1,000 miles away. The majestic Himalayas are one of the most seismically active mountain ranges. They are the result of the ongoing collision between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates, which continues to push them higher. Due to its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire, Alaska is actually the most seismically active state in the United States. It experiences a magnitude 7 earthquake almost every year. Japan is a world leader in earthquake preparedness. From cutting-edge earthquake-resistant architecture to nationwide drills and advanced early warning systems, they've really turned preparation into both a science and an art. Italy is highly prone to earthquakes because it's caught in a tectonic squeeze. The African plate is pushing north into the massive Eurasian plate, creating these complex fault systems throughout the country. Earthquake engineering is the incredible field dedicated to designing structures that can withstand seismic shaking. It involves, innovative designs that absorb and dissipate an earthquake's energy safely. What about older buildings? Seismic retrofitting is the process of strengthening existing vulnerable structures to make them more resistant to ground shaking, preserving history, and honestly, saving lives. There are countless anecdotal stories of animals behaving strangely before a quake. While some may be sensitive to the initial P waves, this so-called sixth sense has not been scientifically proven or harnessed. Throughout history, cultures have explained earthquakes with incredible myths. From a giant catfish thrashing in Japan to Atlas shrugging in Greece, these stories show our ancient desire to understand these events. Seismic waves are like an ultrasound for our planet. The fact that P waves can travel through Earth's core, but S waves cannot, is key evidence that our planet has a liquid outer core. Like a planetary CT scan, seismic tomography uses data from thousands of earthquakes to create three-dimensional maps of Earth's mantle and core, revealing the hidden structures deep beneath our feet. So, a seismic zone is basically a region on Earth where earthquakes are more likely to occur. These zones are usually found along tectonic plate boundaries, but not always. Sometimes, as we've seen with intraplate quakes, they can pop up away from those boundaries too. Alright, let's just recap this key point. Magnitude is one number that measures the energy released at the source of an earthquake. On the other hand, intensity describes the varying levels of shaking and damage at different locations. So, yeah, while magnitude stays the same, intensity can be really different depending on where you are. City planners use seismic risk assessments to prepare for the future. These studies combine hazard maps with information about buildings and population to identify areas of greatest potential loss. The future is flexible. Engineers are developing incredible new earthquake-resistant materials like shape-memory alloys and fiber-reinforced polymers to make our buildings even safer and more resilient. Despite the immense destructive power of earthquakes, the most inspiring fact is the strength of human resilience. Communities come together to rebuild, innovate, and recover, often stronger than before. And there you have it, 50 facts that prove our planet is anything but static. It's a dynamic, energetic, and constantly moving place. Earthquakes aren't malicious acts of nature. They are the inevitable result of the geological processes that create mountains, shape continents, and make our world the vibrant home we know. From the tiniest tremor recorded by a seismograph to a massive quake that reshapes a coastline, it's all just science. It's physics. It's geology in action. Understanding this science is incredibly important. It's not just about knowing facts. It's about empowerment. When we understand why the ground shakes, we can engineer smarter buildings, create better warning systems, and develop plans that save lives. Knowledge allows us to replace fear with preparation and respect for the planet's power. So the next time you think about the ground beneath your feet, I hope you'll consider the incredible forces at play.